Sorry, welcome. Today is 30th of January 2018, just one day shy from February 2018. Today, I will give you a number of updates. Number one, NASA leader, the official opposition leader in Kenya, was sworn in as the people's president, as Kenya, that is people's president in Kenya. So officially, we kind of have two presidents in the country. On another issue, that is on matters of public interest, that is budget, the International Budget Partnership released their open budget survey for 2017. That is, they were looking at the budgets from various countries, that is for 2016-17 and the years before. That is the OBC survey. They call it Open Budget Survey 2017. They were looking at how governments from around the world are trying to the transparency. They were measuring transparency. So out of 100, they will give them the ranking. So they had several research groups from around the world, and they looked at a number of countries whereby Kenya is included: Tanzania, Rwanda, Sudan, Morocco, South Africa, and many other countries. So specifically for today, since the report was released today, this 30th of it is very timely. It has come at the right time. That is at the time when Kenyan government, that's the Kenyan national government executive, is trying to make a budget for 2018-2019. So probably the recommendations they have given in that report will come in handy in terms of helping the national treasury or the national government come up with a better report, just come up with a better budget, come up with better mechanisms for public participation, and also come up with better mechanisms when it comes to oversight. There are a number of recommendations they have made, which we shall look at. We shall also compare Kenya with other African countries and see how we are faring. So, the report basically looks at how countries are they transparent? Are they involving the people? Are they doing good oversight? That's legislature and the supreme audit institutions. What are they doing? Are they working better? And are they involving people in the entire process? So, an overall observation which has been made in this Open Budget Survey 2017 is that there was a modest decline in the average budget transparency. So overall, the transparency in budget has declined from 45 out of 100 to 43 out of 100 in 2017 or 2016. So there was a decline in terms of transparency. Governments are becoming tight-fisted when it comes to providing information to the public. 102 countries were surveyed by numerous teams in those countries which collected data using questionnaires, and they came up with this report. The report was written by Leki Dr. Jess of the International Budget Partnership. He was the country director Kenya, but he is moving to the international office as a director of research. Then in Kenya, the research or the collecting of data was done by Institute of Public Finance, IBF Kenya. In Uganda, it was done by Uganda Debt Network. In Rwanda, the data collection was done by Institute of Policy Analysis and Research. So it is a comprehensive report, to say the least. Kenya performed the way it performed, which we shall see the scores, how they scored. But then in this OBS 2017, it is said that if a country scores over 60 or 60 and above, that is now the pass mark for countries in various parameters, in terms of transparency, in terms of budget oversight, in terms of public participation. If they score over 60, they are doing very well. So, for Kenya, a number of recommendations were made. But before we go to the recommendations, we should look at what Kenya terms of transparency Kenya scored 46 out of 100, meaning it scored below average. The average, which has been set by the researchers, was 60 out of 100. So, Open Budget Survey of 2017 gives recommendations to Kenya. One of the recommendations is that Kenya should publish, the National Treasury or Executive should publish a citizen's budget. That is the Mwananchi Guide, which should be an untechnical version, which clearly explains in untechnical language what's happening in the budget. That's like a summary which is presented in a very friendly language. Then Kenya provides the public with limited budget information. That's some observation which has been made in Kenya. The kind of information provided to the public is scanty. It's limited, actually. Let me use the right term. It's limited according to the report, which is true. If you visit your home county and try to find information about the budgets, how has the county government been allocating resources since 2013 to 2017? I swear, you might not find the information. You might find scanty information here, information there. But that's not how it's supposed to be. Our county governments, like my county government of Nyamira, your county government of Nairobi, your county government of Mombasa, should provide you with adequate information. For example, you should be able to find all budget documents from 2013 to 2017, 2018 published online, so that you can do your comparison and see whether we are moving forward or backwards. Counties are supposed to provide even cash flow statements. How is money moving in and out of the county government every month, at the end of every month? But this does not happen. Then the county government, the Kenyan government was also asked to, on terms of public participation, it scored 15 out of 100. You see, if you score 15 out of 100 and the pass mark is 60 out of 100, then you have underperformed seriously. So on public participation, Kenya provides few opportunities for the public to engage in. And when those few opportunities are provided, they are not quality. It is just like a public relations exercise. In Nairobi, they call it rubber stamping exercise. It is just made because the law requires public participation to take place. So they just involve people to show to have evidence that we involved the people in budget making process. But ideally, that's not how it should be. Those are some of the things which makes Kenya to score lowly in terms of public participation. Recommendations made: 1, the government or national government and counties should hold sufficient number of legislative hearings on formulation of the annual budgets, not just invited groups. So those committees, the budget and appropriation committees at the county and at the national level, should hold regular meetings to discuss what should get into the budget. This information has come at the right time when counties and national government are engaging in preparation or formulation of the budget estimates, which will be tabled in the county assemblies and national assembly by 30th of April 2018. So this information has come at the right time. Number 2, the county and national assembly, county and national treasuries should establish formal mechanisms for public to assist Office of the Auditor General in formulation of its audit program. The Office of the Auditor General should not struggle so much without involving the people. People have ideas. They can tell you how to corner the government departments which are stealing our public resources. People know when money is stolen. So the Office of the Auditor General, or the supreme audit institution, should provide a platform where people come and discuss how to audit county governments, how to audit national government, how to audit ministries, departments and agencies, so that we get the information correct and we get it in time. On oversight, budget oversight, Kenya scored 50 out of 100. Allow me to take some water because I'm in Mombasa and it is extremely hot, and the fan over here is off because it will bring disturbance as we record this video. So on oversight, Kenyan Office of the Auditor General and also Parliament and the Senate scored 50 out of 100. What does this mean? It means that the Office of the Auditor General provides adequate information about budget oversight, which is good. If you need the information, you will always find it online on the website of the Office of the Auditor General. And the information is adequate, but it is not timely. I can't get, for example, budget oversight for 2016-2017. The latest you can find is 2015-2016. We need to get most recent, most updated information. That's probably why they scored 50 out of 100%. The pass mark, remember, is 60 out of 100. So we have a long way to go. The Office of the Auditor General provides adequate budget oversight. That's important. Then we should ensure that the legislative committees, like the Budget and Appropriation Committee at the National Assembly and at the counties, should examine, publish reports on their analysis of the executive budget proposal. This should be happening more regularly. The Budget and Appropriation Committees should be examining budgets and publishing their reports. It is not about taking sitting allowances or mileage. It is about analyzing, interrogating budget figures and publishing their reports with their findings. That's how we will know that you are working. Otherwise, you will be doing your own things. And those analyses, those reports should be published online so that everyone gets your views on what's going on. The Committee on Budget and Appropriation should examine and publicize reports on in-year budget. So regularly they should look at the budget and give reports on the progress in implementation. That is the work that they have been appointed to do. Not to serve their masters, but to serve the people who elected them. Then we should ensure that the Office of the Auditor General has adequate funding to perform its duties. In Kenya, the Office of the Auditor General has in the past informed the country that they are not able to produce the most recent reports, that's for 2016-2017, because they do not have enough funding to hire enough staff to acquire enough facilities to conduct this work. So, funding, resources. We understand the resources are limited, but this oversight body, the Office of the Auditor General, should be provided with enough funding to ensure that they perform their duties well. Finally, they should publish online the reports of the National Treasury on cost estimates of the new policy proposals. Like now, after this episode, we will produce our next episode focusing on the budget policy statement. How is the government going to spend money in the next 5 years? But we will look at the year 2018-2019 with a lot of emphasis and see what is going on. Now, just to compare with what's happening elsewhere in the world, transparency in Sudan is very low. Sudan scored 2 out of 100. South Africa probably scored highest, 89 out of 100. On public participation, Sudan scored 0, meaning there is no public participation. There is nowhere the citizen comes in to give their proposals the way we do here in Kenya, or the way they do in South Africa, or the way they do in Nigeria, the way they do in Uganda. In Sudan, nil. 0 out of 100 on public participation. South Africa scored 24. Kenya, on public participation, Kenya scored 15. So we are doing badly in Africa. Even the kind of public participation we are doing is not what was originally intended by the Constitution. It is not in the spirit and the letter of the Constitution of Kenya. Initially, when public participation started, the members of the public or the citizens were given a chance to vote on projects which they want to be funded, and those projects were funded. But in Kenya, it is opaque. You never even know whether your proposals were taken by the government. On budget oversight, In Sudan, it is 31 out of 100. In South Africa, it is 85 out of 100. So the members of the Budget and Appropriation Committee in South Africa, the Supreme Audit Institution in South Africa, they are doing an excellent job. They have passed the pass mark of 60. They have been awarded 85 in the Open Budget Survey of 2017. So South Africa should provide public with extensive budget information. Okay, South Africa provides the public with extensive budget information. The legislature provides adequate oversight during budget cycle. So it is not only like in Kenya, the members of parliament who work under the Budget and Appropriation Committee, they provide oversight only during the budget formulation process. During implementation, less. They do very little work. South Africa, they do a lot of work in tracking the budget, making sure it is used according to plan. South Africa Supreme Audit Institution scored 100 out of 100. They are doing a perfect job. Our Office of the Auditor General should go to South Africa's alternative, the South African Office of that is the Supreme Audit Institution in South Africa. They scored 100 out of 100, meaning they are doing everything the way it's supposed to be done, which is a very good thing. Our neighboring Somalia, which is torn by war from the terrorist organizations, scored 8 out of 100 in terms of transparency. Very scant information is provided. On public participation, they scored 2 out of 100, and the pass mark is 60. Few opportunities are provided in Somalia for public participation. On oversight, they scored 22. Weak oversight. No one is caring about how the country is using money. Morocco, no opportunities are provided for public participation. No opportunities, no information. So how can you engage? But then there is some oversight. From Parliament, they look at how the executive is spending their money. So that is basically a summary of what is in the report, Open Budget Survey 2017. We will put the link on the description below, the description section below. Kindly read the entire report. It is around 89 pages. If you take your time, you can read, or you can pick interesting parts. You can even read about your own country. If you come from Uganda, you can read about Uganda. If you are a Kenyan, read about Kenya. But it's also good to compare and see what's happening. For example, in Kenya, the constitution requires that public participation is a must before any policy or law is passed in Kenya. In Morocco, public participation is not compulsory. Actually, it's not there. That is the state of budget, Open Budget Survey 2017. Thank you very much for tuning in to Kerosi TV. Until next time, we'll see you on the internet. Kindly remember to subscribe below so that we have more subscribers and we deliver our news on budget, economy, business, and politics direct to your inbox. Thank you very much. See you next time.